Hola Madridistas, welcome back to another episode of Let's Be Real podcast. You guys know the drill. If you're new here, don't forget to smash the like and subscribe to the channel. We're on the road to 3K, and people tuning in on our audio platforms, go check out our partners, Manscaped and Fanatics. Links are in the video description. It'll be also in the in the episode description on Anchor. That is Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and whatnot. Um, yeah, LB at 20 to get 20% off and free shipping on manscaped.com. They have been around with us for the last 9 or so months, supporting true football movements like us for the good part of the last 4 or 5 years. Go check them out. Fanatics also use this link and avail to any of the site-wide promotions they have ongoing. They usually have site-wide promotions every other day, 25% off or free shipping. Something like that would be usually the case with Fanatics. Huge collection of not just football muck, but NBA, NFL, you name it, NASCAR. If someone of you are actually into it, I'm not really a NASCAR fan because I don't consider it racing. No offense to some of the Americans who will be tuning in, but yeah, man, go check out Fanatics. Link in the description below. Right. Anoeta away. Sahil and myself, we were kind of talking about what would unfold post the international break. And I feel like we got most of our premonitions right. Well, I did for a fact because even before the Betis game, Jacob, you weren't here for the post matches then. I used to claim that the Bernabeu home crowd and us having that advantage would actually shift us or push us towards a win, which clearly what we see on the pitch doesn't really warrant. That was more of the same case tonight as well. Do you agree with me?
Yeah,
Yeah,
totally agree, man. Like even in the preview, we were expecting it to be tough, and I feel like
Yeah.
the lineup and then the way we played made it tougher on us.
Hmm.
Like when I first saw the lineup, that this was my takeaway. I was like, this can either be an
Yeah.
amazing match or this can be a very shitty match.
Hmm.
And as
Yeah.
the trend goes, it turned out to be a very shitty match. But I saw some good moments. I think at least compared to what Mallorca Las Palmas, we had created better chances. Mbappe looked
You really think
yeah.
better chances?
Yeah, just taking the set pieces, man. I feel like we could have scored on one of those. Mbappe
Yeah,
could have
set pieces.
Mbappe
Yeah,
could have actually scored. Like overall, away from the penalty.
Militao had a couple of chances, right?
Yeah, we could have scored one goal. I wouldn't say more than that, but I feel like yeah.
But it was set pieces. It was nothing from open play. Again,
Yeah.
that's the biggest pressing
it
issue.
was a bit from open play actually. Up until the time
The Ibrahim Mbappe chance. That's the only one I can remember, which was clear cut.
Yeah, we
That's it.
are.
There was another
Yeah,
couple of those for Mbappe when he was put through on goal.
he was put on, but he couldn't get the shot away or something. But anyways, our
Mm,
non-penalty XG today was 0.74, so probably enough to score a goal. Not quite, but yeah.
With the market value, transfer market value of what we have up front, 0.74 xg, is that acceptable? Like for me, this is shambolic, shocking performances, back to back to back. I don't know where the coaching staff and the board has to hide anymore. Um, uh, it just goes from basically hopelessness to um, basically just succumbing to the fact that we have to get accustomed to watching this until God knows, like what happened probably in the Clasico last year. That big win basically gave us that lift that we needed. Probably something like that would come along and lift us. At this point, I don't see it. You know, Sahil, my question is, to just kick things off, if we continue this performance away at the Metropolitano, do you think we are getting out alive?
No, because Atletico, for one, are more clinical than Sociedad, and
Yeah.
probably lucky than
Mm,
Sociedad were tonight. And
mm,
they're also a class team, right? Because
yeah.
at the moment, with all the transfers they've had, again,
Mm,
they're not quite clicked, but
hmm.
Cholo Simeone, you just know that he will find a way to get his
Yeah.
team drilled up for that
Yeah.
performance
Yeah.
at home against us.
Mm,
So, not quite there, man. Just
mm,
more of the same, even beyond the international break.
mm,
It was obviously disappointing that we lost a few players, most
yeah.
notably Chouameni to injury.
Hmm. Hmm.
And again, today in the first half, Brahim was subbed off, and Militao looked not 100% because he had a problem in the second half. So injuries, I feel like, are a big part of it at the moment. But with a squad like the one we have, you can't really complain. So you're not going to earn anybody's sympathy, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Matter how many injuries you have. So it's just we're looking for a big win to push that narrative. Okay, we're heading towards something good.
Mm,
And right now, it's just not, even with two consecutive clean sheets in a row, two consecutive clean sheets and two consecutive 2-0 wins. I don't
yeah.
really buy into the idea that we're getting anywhere.
Mm. Jacob, if you actually, um, you know, piggyback on what Sahil just mentioned, a big win, a statement win, would actually help us, uh, you know, push the narrative that we might be on the right track. Um, is that gonna be a realistic ask when we ship chances away to teams like Sociedad? Like you were mentioning in your opening statement, Jacob, that I actually also heard in your preview that you and Mo gave ample respect to Sociedad. Yes, they are good, right? They were unbeaten in the Champions League group stages last season, or something with Inter in their group and whatnot. Decent stuff. A good club. Emmanuel Al is a great manager. They have a set identity, style of play and whatnot. But losing players like Lenormand, Mikel Merino is going to bite them. And what I saw of Sociedad, especially this season, the opening 3-4 games, they have been shambolic. They look shocking. They look nowhere near um, what they aspire to be. That is minimum a top four side in Spain, especially at home. I think they
And
suffered two
still haven't
losses at
won at
home.
home.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. So we shipped a plethora of chances against Sociedad, and in a particular phase of play, it was almost like Osama being pinned, surrounded in his fucking last dying moments, where every fucking commando, I don't know, agent can take a shot. It's fucking incredible. Like where they had the time and space to pass it around and take a shot one by one. Like watching stuff like that, and the crossbar being better than Thibaut Courtois, who I thought was a bit shaky by his lofty standards as well. Like the future for this team, at least looking at it right now, September first week, second week, or whatnot. Um, it doesn't bode well, man. Like I'm very afraid of what lies ahead, especially post January.
Yeah. A lot of points to go through here. So first, Real Sociedad, like the commentators said, like everyone said, they aren't
Mm,
coming into this game with the best of form. And this just compared to
yeah,
last season, you know why they reached the Champions League, like the round of 16, right? It's because of their defensive solidity. It's not really
100%.
with not really their attacking play. They're a difficult team to break down.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
today I felt like we kind of got outclassed in midfield. Zubimendi,
Hmm.
absolutely incredible. Like he won so many
Not kinda,
challenges.
completely.
Yeah, completely. And which was expected. Just looking at our lineup,
Mm,
not the same player that he was maybe coming off the bench even last season. He
yeah.
looks really shaky. It feels like he isn't getting enough touches in the right places.
Yeah.
Arda Güler, having him didn't really help our.
Jacob, quickly, sorry to cut you off. Maybe we might not be able to come back to this point, right? The Modric situation. Like, I do get when people say that he has been largely ineffective. I get it. Like, sometimes he's a complete bystander. He's just an onlooker on the periphery of what goes on around him. I feel absolutely devastated, watching that unfold, because he's one of my childhood heroes. But um, do you think the fact that the attack uh, completely bypasses them, especially if it wants to be direct? I think, in my opinion, that's what has been happening. I'm a layman, but just for my eye test, that's what I kind of understand. Do you think it's the team lacking trust in his abilities? Um, you know, in 2024, do
And
you think that's the case?
just compare the rest of his teammates in midfield. Like, who would you rather pass it to?
Mm,
Tchouaméni or Valverde in a pressure situation? No. Everyone looks to Modric to actually calm it down because he has that pasta, right? I don't think it's the
yeah.
trust or anything. I just feel like he's just not physical enough uh, and to like really play 90 minutes in this season. And beyond that, like you could see in
Mm,
the first half, he had some really decent touches. Couple of them, at
yeah.
least, he passes. I think one was the pass to Vinny, one was the pass to Brahim, which unlocked the
Hmm.
difference. So yeah, he
Yeah.
has these moments where he still can make the impact, but we need someone who can actually play the whole 90, run with the ball. And I'm just waiting for one guy, Kamavinga, to come back from injury to see if he can
Even
actually
Jude
perform.
Bellingham. I think Jude Bellingham is gonna, majorly fix this
Absolutely, yeah.
this this hole that it's like a fucking Bermuda Triangle. Like, people don't know where to be. It's just everyone for themselves in midfield. It's so disjointed, man. Like, nobody can combine with anyone. It's just hoping and praying Carvajal does something with it. Once Fede passes the ball to him, Mendy is completely avoided. He's almost like, yeah, a mannequin, right? Like, he's there. He's just
He's so
existing.
passive in some phases of the
Yeah,
game.
yeah.
It's as if he's just waiting for the turnover, and then comes his time to shine when he's running towards our own goal.
Mm,
And he's just
yeah,
so like invisible, man.
yeah, yeah. I can't defend some of Mendy's decision
And
making,
the only
especially off the ball.
problem is that
Mm,
he's still in the 11 because again, Fran Garcia doesn't do those basics right.
yeah,
Uh, and if again, we have an excellent record with Mendy and all of that.
yeah, yeah.
He just doesn't offer enough going forward.
If it's not broken, let's not fix it. I think that's the Carlo
Hmm.
and Ancelotti mantra. But Jacob, carry on, man. You were mentioning the midfield and
Uh,
Modric.
yes, the midfield as a whole, man. Like I feel like this is like a trickle down effect with our attack.
Yeah,
Not being
yeah.
able to control and not being able to release the ball fast enough to the
Hmm.
wingers, Vinny or Mbappe. I mean, they had to like Mbappe had a couple of really good runs where he basically took it upon his shoulders to do it. But then
Hmm.
Vinny, with the times that he got, maybe 3-4 times in the match, when
Yeah.
compared to last season, like pretty much every single attack went through him, he would have the opportunity to try out his dribbling skills at least 20,
Hmm.
30 times in a match. But this time,
Yeah.
these games, he's just getting like 4 or 5 opportunities, and he just doesn't look sharp enough to actually make a difference there. So I feel like,
And more than that, he just looks to get the foul. Like that's his best end product. Like he doesn't look to beat the man sometimes.
You guys seeing me? You guys see me losing my mind, right? Like, am I
Yeah,
overreacting over
no,
Vinny?
yes,
no,
Like,
yes,
actually
you
you're
are.
not.
No, man, you are overreacting. It's just because
To
Vinny
Vinny,
is, yeah, man, like, so whenever he looks for a foul, it's because he's surrounded by 2 or 3 players. He can't really do that much, or he's like not sharp enough or confident enough. That's what I feel at this point in the season so
so
far.
you're basically back in his immature behavior. Is that the
I'm
is
saying
that the
he,
answer?
he he just doesn't have enough opportunities to actually take out his skills, man. I feel like it's so much pressure to actually perform in like these 1 or 2 chances that he gets to actually beat a man or something. But
The
he
thing
usually,
learned
is,
all those things there in past seasons where he succeeded.
yeah,
He
because
got past people.
yeah, because he was trying 20, 30 times a match. Now he's just not been able to do that.
but isn't he what, 24, 25? Isn't he man enough to know the fact that Mbappe is also on the pitch? So attention is going to be a bit shared at this moment in time.
It's not being shared for some reason. Like either they make the wrong kind of runs or they just ignore each other. So the teams know that these guys are gonna dribble it on their own and they just outmark them.
Yeah.
And that
Him giving the ball to Mbappe for the penalty was as much chemistry as we saw today.
Yeah, I mean, and the celebration
And the celebration,
is almost like the not gonna get into it. The post-fight sex that we see in some toxic couples, man. Honestly, like it just doesn't, it just doesn't sit right. Like it's almost like they're trying to tell us everything is fine, but what we see on the pitch, whether it be a clash of styles, whether it be them overlapping into uh, familiar territory where they both want to take up those positions, it just doesn't look seamless. It's jarring.
Man, it's non-existent. I was looking at the pass maps from host code. There's literally no line between Vinny and Mbappe. There's literally lines between every other player, but except these two.
Yeah.
They just don't pass to each other.
Why
Vinny
is that the case?
Came alive after the 70th minute, but it was too late.
Yeah. Stuttgart at home is a good opportunity. I mean, they're not a bad side. They shouldn't be taken lightly, but come on, man, we have to step things up and really look onto kind of knitting this attack back together, because this was a phase of our game plan that didn't look smooth flowing, but was extremely effective last season. Yes, we like I mentioned in the group chat, we used to run into alleyways, we used to get double triple teamed, but we always had that one moment of just pure brilliance that broke opposition defenses. Sahil, why do you think that's not even remotely a reality anymore? Like, why don't we even see just one moment of brilliance here? We saw Mbappe doing it, the chop back onto his left. That shot, if it's a bit more lethal, would probably be the opening goal of the game. But it's so few and far between.
I think you'd expect all of those things from somebody like Vinicius, who's just not performing at the moment.
Yeah.
Valverde is playing away from his best position.
Mm-hmm.
So he doesn't get to shoot nearly as often as he should.
Yeah.
And again, Modric's on the field today, just not it. He's past his best, so you can't be expecting those things from him. But if anything, it'll come more often. But right now, they're just too focused on the collective to, think of something out of the ordinary. Like I don't see Vinicius cutting in and going for a shot like he did, say, against Bayern last season.
Yeah.
That's just not happening anymore, and that's mostly down to his confidence.
Mm-hmm.
And it hopefully, and today not even Rodrigo. In fact, the 70 odd minutes he did play, he was nowhere near how effective he usually is within the collective or individually, right?
I know.
Moments of individual brilliance just not there.
I'm gonna just ask you guys again. This is the foregone conclusion at this point. He is, the guy who's gonna be sacrificed. He's the lamp that we are all going to basically feed to the wolves every week. But I would also add that he almost gave away the ball for a very costly turnover. That if Umar Sadiq had a couple more brain cells, I'm not sure if it was Umar Sadiq or if it was Sheraton Becker, but yeah, if they had a bit more nerves about them, it would be a clear, enticing opportunity for Sociedad to break the deadlock. But Jacob and Sahil, how would Rodrigo feel watching this unfold? Match day after match day, that he is an afterthought where guys like Vinny and Mbappe, I mean Vinny more so than Mbappe, gets to have mediocre games back to back to back. Like I've heard Sahil's take.
They're allowed those mediocre games. For some reason, they're allowed those mediocre games, but Rodrigo somehow just isn't. And at this point, I would just like to see Rodrigo actually play on the left, which is actually his best position.
Yeah.
Kubo actually said this in the pre-game, didn't he? We have 3 left wingers in our team.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
He chats a bit too much for my liking. That's
Yeah.
why if you noticed, Mbappe and Vinicius were very keen on leaving something on him.
True.
Any chance they got.
In the first half, yeah.
Yeah.
And right now, so much of the creative onus is on the front three, especially this game, because the midfield just wasn't clicking, right?
Yeah.
Modric wasn't nearly as press resistant as he used to be. Valverde did all right for himself, but again, not he didn't like you don't unleash Valverde like you did do in a box role. And Guler, just I don't know about Guler, man. In a few moments he appeared. What did you feel about Guler?
Yeah, Guler. I don't know. I'm very. My opinion about Guler this game is pretty middling. He tried to be effective. He tried to kind of link up both the midfield and attack. There were a few nice passes, but compared to what we saw, especially for Turkey, there's a lot to go. I don't know what Jacob thinks about Guler.
And I feel like he had a good opening 10-20 minutes when Brahim was on the pitch. Those two guys seem to have like a good synergy. They played in pre-season. I feel like he was kind of effective there. He was trying to put in those balls into the box, like trying to combine. But when Rodrigo came on, that connection was like totally missing, and then he couldn't really help out the rest of the midfield in making any control.
Because Rodrigo was predominantly sticking to the touchline today. He was not coming in.
Yeah, so super wide. Yeah.
And Guler, while he was there with ball progression at times, because again he was doing Valverde's part of the work in terms of ball progression. Valverde played like a more deeper role today.
Yeah.
Again, new to see without Tchouaméni in the team, and
he was the lone DM. Fede was the lone DM. Had to do the job.
Few pages we've used about 4 different combinations in midfield since the start of the season. So I don't know what it will be going forward once Tchouaméni is back, once Camavinga is back. But right now it's just experiment after experiment, and nothing seems to be clicking.
So it's more of an indictment on what this midfield and this personnel and its shape and its synergy is more so than its individual pieces. Because I mean, what can Guler do, right? Like it's the expectations, right? Expectations on this system to work and the reality of its personnel is entirely two different things. One thing that I've grown up or kind of matured up to once I've seen 3 or 4 games this season is the fact that if you compare this to Ancelotti's first or second side, the 13-14 side or the 14-15 side, they had a pretty much similar way of playing. The personnel took care of themselves pretty well. Let's be honest. Cristiano is here somewhere, right? Like he is up in the fucking clouds. Mbappe is maybe standing atop, Burj Khalifa. I mean, it's a pretty significant gap. He just isn't that guy. Like I used to think watching him at PSG that he would be something like a Cristiano on our side. I don't think he's ever turning out to be that guy. I don't know what do you guys think about that? Jacob, do you think I'm making a fair statement, or is it too early for me to going for his throat, especially after a pretty decent performance tonight?
Man, I think it's a fair statement because it's like so hard to get up to Cristiano levels. Like you just compare number 9 Cristiano, right? When he came out to Madrid, scoring free kicks, just taking players on left and right. And Mbappe is not that guy, but he doesn't need to be to actually score a shit ton of goals. We just need our whole team to fucking pick up the pace, get our control right, and then he'll be scoring and tapping in those goals. Right now, are we like giving him any way to actually succeed in this team? Are we giving him space? I mean, like, are his teammates pulling away defenders? No. He's getting double teamed, triple teamed by the opponents, and this is what you can see, man. Like, Cristiano, he might have scored a few more goals at this point, but then we don't need
Mbappe is never going to be a one chance, one goal player.
Never.
I don't think so. Maybe in international football with France, where the game is a bit more slower. But is he going to be that one guy who's going to lead a comeback like Cristiano in the Champions League? No chance.
No, no.
I
Maybe
don't see
maybe
that
maybe Haaland can do that. Not Mbappe.
Haaland, maybe, if the service
That's a
isn't
different
right.
conversation. Come on.
Yeah.
But to his credit, Mbappe was actually fine today. He was the best
Yeah,
for 3 hours.
I wouldn't fault him for what went on. But then again, the entire equation just seems off. Like I don't know who to point fingers at anymore, because I'm super tired watching this team labor to two penalties. Three what was the stat? 4 pens in the last 3 games. That's diabolical shit, man. Even if it's in our favor, and it's for our own sake. Basically, they are, those pens are bailing us out of a pretty deep hole that we have dug for ourselves. It just feels immoral, you know. Like Jacob, like what would Sociedad feel like going home after that performance, where they basically had 3 shots hit the post, right? Outplay us for large parts in the first half, and then concede to a fluky, handball, and then a foul that in most other games would not be called by the VAR. Like, how many times have we seen follow throughs, that people often, leave stamps on, opposition attackers. Like, it's a thing of the norm. Like, it's not something that it's heavily scrutinized. I don't think so. But man, like stuff like that would really question how legitimate or how honorable our win was. If I don't know if I'm using the right adjectives here, but um, like us winning with this team should be a bit more cinematic, a bit
Yeah.
more, a bit more with panache. Jacob, like, so say that, like, you feel sorry for them.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Zubimendi was the one in the post-match, just answering some questions. He looked absolutely broken. He was super disappointed, like the rest of the team. They knew, like, they could have actually walked away with at least a point. The pens
Yeah.
itself, like, I think those are both legit pens. You expect, like, the follow-throughs not be given when it's a shot, but it was just a pass inside the box, and then the referee had every right to actually give a pen. And kudos on for the VAR team to actually call that out. Like, most times we wouldn't have seen it being considered even.
Well,
And you could see it, you could hear it actually from the Sociedad fans. During the latter stages of the game, they were chanting Madrid. So this is how Madrid win.
Well, I don't know what to tell you guys.
Probably
I mean,
just
penalty is like a legit way to score goals, guys. I mean, come on.
I know.
But this is not, from our perspective, this is not going to happen every game, right?
Nope.
And referees are going to probably know what's coming. The players themselves are going to know what Vinicius wants to do. So it's not going to happen. And
this referee, he's one of the most
ways of scoring. That's just it.
100%. And just adding to Sahil's point, this referee is one of the more milder ones in La Liga. Yeah, like he's not as notorious as your what's the guy's name? Hernandez, or the guy who starts the name that starts with M. I forgot. Anyway, the guy with the slick hair who basically disallowed Jude Bellingham's last minute goal against Valencia. Was it last season?
Yeah.
Or where the Mestalla?
That's a lot of very shitty referees,
Manzano.
Who?
Gil Manzano.
Gil Manzano. There you go. But I guess it's time for the ad read. Jacob, I hope you have it ready. Big up Doris, big up Manscaped. LBI20 to get 20% off and free shipping on manscaped.com. Big up Doris, as always, again.
Hola Maridistas, if you've ever wondered how you can help and support this channel and project of ours, I'm here to remind you we've partnered up with Manscaped, so you can go to their website, use our code LBR20 to get 20% off and free shipping worldwide. That's code LBR20 to get 20% off and free shipping at manscaped.com. For whether you're bald, you want to be bald, or you are in the process of balding, because this season is already helping with that. I have a new thing for you. It's called the Dome Shaver Pro. It is a trimmer that helps you, shave your head. It is ergonomic. It has blades that come together and apart at the angle that you want to shave. It is very easy to use. It is fully waterproof. You can use it in the shower, easy to clean. It has a flex adjust technology, like I said, where blades come together at a part. It's very comfortable to shave your head. Dome Shaver Pro is also equipped with a high performance 9500 RPM motor, which means no matter how your battery life is over time, the motor will always be efficient and fully working. And speaking of battery life, it has an hour and a half in its life or battery, so it means that you can take it on a trip fully charged. It will still be charged when you get there. It also has a lock on the battery, so if you travel and you're scared that maybe the trimmer will turn on or something, it will lock it, so that never happens. Plus it helps save battery life. You can also get the Dome Shaver aftershave lotion. It has aloe vera, colloidal oats, and gotu cola. It helps calm and nourish the skin after shaving. Plus it has a fresh green and light woods scent that's subtle and refreshing. So yeah, use code LBR20 to get 20% off and free shipping. That's code LBR20 to get 20% off and free shipping at manscaped.com. Thank you for watching.
Big up Manscaped, big up Doris. Go check out the new Dome Shaver for any of you Dominic Torettos out there. Go check it out. A pretty brilliant product, like what Doris just mentioned. LBR 20 to 20% off and free shipping. Big up Manscaped. Right. Ashik actually had posted way back. He had predicted a 4-0 win. Pretty bold. He had also DM'd me on our Insta page as well, mentioning that it'll be a washout. But yeah, man, putting such high expectations on this broken side is never going to bode well. A bigger Madrid TV. He was mentioning hard game. We were lucky, but most importantly, 3 points, 100%. Marcus, what was that, Sahil?
How many times? We're saying the same thing every week.
That we were lucky, yeah? Yeah.
Man, we said that the entire of last season as well. Like, this team just depends on individual players and a tiny bit of luck to actually go.
Jacob, come on, bro. Jacob, don't turn into, don't let Farouk walk into your life weekly and influence your thoughts.
It's not thoughts, man. Just look at the first 10 games of last season. It's pretty much exactly the same, except that.
But what happened post December, bro?
Okay.
Yes, we used to get lucky on the odd occasion, but we had a much better flow.
We're not at December yet, so
yeah, exactly. Like it's not enough time, man. Like I feel like I don't know. It's just a new team, pretty much new system.
No, I completely understand that. I'm just living in the now.
Yeah.
The post match is on the now. Like we could turn into fucking businessmen and create a fucking forecast Excel file and upload it instead of doing the post match. If we are gonna just talk about the future. We are living in September and we have to talk about September, bro. What we are seeing is fucking unacceptable. Like whatever happened last season is last season. We climbed out of it. We bought a double home with much splendor and a grandeur last season. So I expect nothing less with more added firepower in the team. Simple as. I don't care about the lack of defensive reinforcements or anything. This team should aspire to win minimum the double again. But yeah, big up Marcus Viema was mentioning. Kudos to the team. Despite all the injuries, we managed to pull off 3 points in the Real Arena. Yeah, when you look at it that way, you could give them some leeway, but I'm pretty sure, guys like Rudiger, Militao are playing and are basically playing through massive pain. They're just taking painkillers to buy time. It's just
Yeah.
and Brahim is off. Like how long is he gonna be out for? It doesn't look very serious. Maybe but I reckon at least 10 days. I don't think he'll be back until after the international break. Just to be super safe. Even if he's only out for like 7 days, they'll be pushing for him to stay back in Madrid and completely avoid the Moroccan friendlies. Or the
He's
international
probably pumped up
matches.
to play for Morocco right now. Recently switched nationalities.
Oh yeah, 100%,
He's doing well as
100%.
well.
I mean, our club, we have a history. Look into Di Maria, during the 2014 World Cup. You would know, how we deal with situations like that. But it wouldn't be that harsh. But I'm just trying to drive my point. Big up Ricardo. Nice to see again, man. He was mentioning. I've noticed that whenever the team wins a double or a trophy of significance, the following season we seem to regress. Man, just spoke my mind. Regress, no matter
Yes.
the person at
Also,
hand.
Ricardo's other comment. I've
Hmm.
also noticed our build-up player has no intent or clear plan. The most times we do look dangerous is when we have a counter-attack or transitional play. Very true. And what that just highlights is that not every team is Sociedad and not every team is Real Betis, right?
Yeah.
Some teams are going to sit back a lot more,
Hmm.
and we're not going to have as many clear-cut chances because of opposition errors. So that is a worry because there is no clear-cut like attacking pattern that we see week in week out, right?
Yeah.
We're just creating chances based off of sometimes luck, sometimes a bit of individual brilliance,
Hmm.
uh, and we can't really rely on those things in the long term.
But Sahil, fuck patterns, right?
Mhm.
This is Carlo Ancelotti's Madrid. This isn't Pep's
Not even
system.
asking for a deep-rooted style of play, man. I'm
Yeah,
just
dude, that's the one thing I'm asking. Like, if you see Mbappe breaking down the middle,
yeah.
Vinicius, Ak, Habibi, get your ass into the center, into a position where a rebound may fall your way, or maybe you might pull a couple of defenders away from Mbappe. Why is he
And he's
sticking
just
to the
not bothered.
fucking corner flag? Like, what is the point? Jacob, like, when you watch that 10 times during a game, don't you feel like smashing a fucking TV screen? That's what I go through. Like, I was fucking sick for 3 days, but this game woke me up. I don't understand. These guys are so highly qualified, and aided by some top notch, video footage at their disposal, but yet they can't seem to fix this. I know it's a subconscious state of being where you, during a game, when there isn't a clear preset tactic, you tend to follow what suits your instincts best. But come on, man, you have to improvise in a given situation. Like, I don't understand why we don't look to rectify it.
Yeah, I mean, to that particular instant, man, like I feel like Mbappe could have actually passed to Vinny. Like that would have been better than taking on 5 players. Pass it earlier, and then Vinny could have maybe created something for Mbappe. But yeah, it was kind of since Mbappe and Vinny they're not on the same page yet. Like this was like pretty much the worst possible turn you could make. Completely ignored, not helping out, taking away any defenders, like absolute shit. Even when Mbappe has the ball, like Vinny, I mean, sorry, when Vinny has the ball, Mbappe made similar runs. He was pretty much making the run on the same wing instead of like taking defenders wide. So I just feel like when these players get to know each other a bit better, the like runs they like to make, then these guys will work off each other and then make the run in the opposite direction. I just hope that's the case. But yeah. I just feel like it's too early
Bro,
to just talk about the runs they make, especially when it's just 3 or 4 instances that they get to have this opportunity.
Jacob, like I completely understand. Time is of the essence here, right? But bro, what this screams to me is the fact that Jude Bellingham is a much more accommodative player. Like he is a much more positionally intelligent player than Vinicius and Mbappe. Really, that he can basically transform into a half nine, full nine, half 10, full 10, fucking 8, 6, 5 back-to-back games and basically do what the game needs at the given moment. Like, is that a fair assessment? Because whenever I kind of look back on what happened during last season as well, Jude Bellingham just made himself available in the best position he could be. What are these guys playing at? Mbappe and Vinicius. Like, I don't understand. It's just stupidity, man. Like, yeah. I'm just letting these.
Man, like if you just look at the last few games, you can definitely say for a fact Mbappe can make better runs. He knows how to get into the box, how to get yourself away from defenders better than these two guys.
Yeah, today was more evidence of that. If only
I'm
Rodrigo
lost for words.
bring the ball to his feet, through on goal, and not with his back to goal more often, it'll work. Ashik says your hair is going to turn grey, by the way.
What, mine, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably. I'm already half gray, but yeah. Do you agree with this, guys? That what Ricardo just said? Because after we have a major season, we kind of tend to regress. Do you, especially the Zidane magical golden era was an anomaly, but after that, we tend to have a down year. Do you think that's more of the same this time around as well?
Even historical, like we've never been able to really have a solid defense for La Liga. We've never had a dominant few years where we just own La Liga. Champions League, yeah, even in Zidane's era, he was the only person to be able to do it. But then, even those seasons in La Liga, we floundered. We somehow found ways to win. I don't know. I just feel like Real Madrid, it's very hard, man. It's not just Real Madrid. It's many teams usually have a hard time defending the title.
It's motivation. It's fatigue. We had a Euro Copa holiday season as well. So, not holiday season. I mean, the off season. So it just doesn't. The combination of factors doesn't really bode well for us. But I hope the case is otherwise, because come on, man, like we expect great things of these players, and so many of these guys, this might be their last hurrah, man. Like Modric, like how much longer is he gonna stick around? Like I would like for him to leave the way Kroos left. Like I don't want Modric to leave like how Benzema left. That's gonna be that's gonna be a hard one to set through. Prince Arthur was mentioning huge impact today from Arda. Yes, some praise for Arda. I mean, yeah, was it really huge?
Some moments, and sometimes he just wasn't. But out of the three that we had in midfield, I think he had the most impact. And between the lines, be it with ball progression or there was even a couple of times where he helped out with interceptions in our own half. And you don't see a player who's fielded as a number 10 do that quite often. So I guess he's following in Jude Bellingham's footsteps when it comes to that. And the kind of confidence that starts like these will give him is something that we have to admire with Ancelotti. The same goes for Brahim. And I would love to see even Fran Garcia start soon, right? Or maybe even get minutes off the bench. So we're winning, but we're not winning convincingly. But at least give these players a shot at starting games, because I think you pointed this out. No players' place in this team should be like absolute, right?
Yeah.
And the next ones to follow Vinicius and maybe Mbappe if he doesn't score. But right now it's fine for Mbappe. So next one to follow is Vinicius.
It's never gonna happen though.
You would hope, but
I mean, do we want
Yeah,
it to
hoping
happen,
against
guys? I mean, just think about it, right? The only best way to like actually
Man.
get a player back in form is to play him. And do you actually want a full in form
Exactly.
Rodrigo heading into the season, or do you want a fully in form Vinny heading into the season?
Bro, I'm not speaking about benching him for like 2 weeks, right? Like
Just
and
2 games.
like
Max.
yeah, like and even by benching, it's him coming on at minute 60.
Yeah.
Even out of the subs, he's getting a preferential treatment compared to Ancelotti's standards of getting players late in, right? Yeah,
So yeah,
I just don't.
finishing
Yeah,
on
go on,
that,
Sam.
I would love to see Gulo start more games and Brahim start more games if he's fit. Who's next? Stuttgart, and then in La Liga.
Yeah.
Atletico.
Alaves.
Oh, Alaves and then Atletico, right?
Probably, I'm not sure if Atletico's midweek or on the weekend. We have
Okay.
a midweek game for the next 2 weeks, so
All right.
yeah, it's in close proximity. But we didn't touch upon one department quickly, the defense, right? Militao and Rudiger, Jacob. But what do you make of their performance today? I felt like Rudiger was a bit better, but it's kind of picking between apple and oranges. Rudiger
Milita's not
was
fit, man. Milita is not 100% yet.
I know,
We know he got injured
but
during
still
the
we have to
break.
assess what we see, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
That's the whole point. Some very costly lapses of concentration, struggling to control 5-yard passes.
Could have easily been 3-0 in the first half for Sociedad.
Yeah. Like who was it? Sucic. I think Sucic's first post. His first shot that hit the post.
Yeah.
I think Militao just lets him run. He's just he's just
Wasn't that
letting him
the
by.
Umar Sadiq chance that Militao like got fumbled and then just almost on
Or,
the goal?
or was it Umar Sadiq? Okay, one of those.
Yeah.
Fucking hell,
Probably
there's been too many.
Yeah, too many. Like honestly, they didn't have a lot of support, but yeah, you expect a fully informed Militao to actually at least stay with someone like Umar Sadiq and then block the shot. The Sukic chance, it was a bit of a pot shot. Like you can't really do much about it.
It was a banger though. Holy shit, the power in that shot.
The post was reverberating, man.
Yeah, Thibaut didn't have any idea
He
where it was gonna go.
He was watching. He was ball watching.
Yeah, that's how strongly it was struck. But
I felt Kamal played a
yeah.
good game.
Who? Kawa?
Yeah.
Decent, but yeah, like I don't really want to praise these guys, man. Like
Again, out of the 4 defenders, I feel like he was most reliable.
Yep, 100%.
I could say that. Yeah.
Because he's the one who's actually doing his job going forward and at the back.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he had a few vital clearances, I remember. Yeah. Oh well, decent. I'm not gonna. Yeah, man. Like this match and this game, the only person I think who can walk away from this game, like I can't even think of a person. I think maybe Brahim was probably the only guy I felt like I could give some props to this game.
But you
honestly.
know for sure that had he continued for the rest of the game, he wouldn't have been able to maintain that level of performance because he's shown that in the past. Right?
Yeah, he tends to drift in games.
Yeah.
But I'm just being honest, man. Like I didn't find any of our
No, I don't agree.
players massively, impressive. That's just me. But yeah, big up Marcus. He was mentioning we Madridistas must have patience and know that if Vinny or Mbappe get along, European teams will struggle to face them for the next 5 years. Well, amen to that. I hope you're right, my friend. But initial evidences, doesn't bode well.
I love how there was so much optimism in our comment sections.
Yeah, I know. It helps to kind of balance out maybe the pessimistic viewpoints. Maybe someone like maybe I have, especially after performances like the ones that we have been watching for the last 2 or 3 weeks. Ash was asking me, Sunayt, brother, did you have that smoke? No, not yet, bro. hopefully soon. Ashok was also mentioning I'm in the process of balding with stress from worrying about the thin central defense. Vallejo came on. I mean, he looked decent. Had a couple of good passes. I like his hair though. He does stand out. Maybe he needs to get them braided to stand even more out and give him a unique USP, because at this point he doesn't do himself any favors. He's just another template center back. But I'm pretty sure he's gonna play a vital role because let's be honest, boys. Come February, we are looking at one center back standing. Let's be honest. Let's
If
be
the
honest.
pattern continues, yeah.
Yeah.
Best case scenario, Alaba's back and everything's fine again. Militao and Rudiger rotating with the Champions League games.
Yeah.
And Copa del Rey, I think. When does Copa del Rey start?
Late December or something.
Okay.
Ashok was mentioning all the Mbappe scored from a pen. There were moments we saw flashes of what he can do, and he'll come good. Ashok was also mentioning we're winning the treble. Yeah, not yet, Ashok. I don't think we are on that road yet. But I guess that's pretty much it. People, Jacob, closing thoughts, man. 2-0 away win. On paper, club record 18 away wins consecutively. Carlo at the helm, pretty decent stat. But the reality is a bit more bleaker than that, isn't it?
Yeah, man, I just have more questions and answers just looking at this game. I know even for the next few games, we're not going to see vintage football. We're going to probably see haram ball instead. But yeah, I'll be there. I'll still be watching. Just hoping, we set ourselves solidly up for the season. And then by that time, hopefully come November or December, Ancelotti has somehow figured out how to make this team work. Just basically lowered my expectations for this first half of the season. But that's what happened.
I know, see, Jacob, that's one thing that I really hope is the case, because like Farouk, you saw me, right? Like me and Farouk were on the same page for large parts last season because of how ineffective we were, how labored we looked, especially trying to play some good football, right? But I so badly want these guys to be in their jobs, because I know for a fact that no one else is going to guarantee us trophies as much as Carlo and his men do. Is that a fair assessment, Jacob? Like, who else is going to basically guarantee us the Champions League even in a year like this? This is another transition year, but we can't really put that out of his credibility, right? That he can maybe give us another Champions League.
Yeah, man, that's funny. I wouldn't swap Ancelotti for any other coach in the world. But you know what's sad? At the start of the season, I thought, okay, this is one season, in the last few seasons where it's actually not transitionary. I feel like I almost was I guess wishfully thinking that Toni Kroos leaving wouldn't have much of an impact. But it looks like the whole system revolved around that one player, and now we're just struggling with no way out. But somehow, this guy can make miracles work, man. And I just would give him more time.
Kroos. I'm tired of hearing that, but yeah, I get the grievances. It comes from an honest place. But yeah, Sahil, man, on to you.
We're going to hear that name till the time we have Real Madrid playing the most fluid football.
Or maybe until we win some major silverware. That's the honest truth.
Sorry, yeah.
Or maybe until we win some major silverware, right? That's the reality.
Guess so, but then again, still people like us are going to be worried after performances like this, because on paper it's a 2-0 win and it's the second consecutive clean sheet. But was it really that level of performance? Probably not. And could it easily have been 3-2 to Sociedad or something like that? Probably. So closing thoughts, I guess the midfield was a talking point today. Much of the creative onus comes down to the attack, and that isn't a good thing. the team again changes a bit. Guler and Brahim comes in, both of who actually performed well by
Yeah.
their standards, and the rest of it was everywhere, but Real Madrid standards in the first half. And then, like we've shown in the past, second half was much better. So our tendency to, push the intensity up in the second half continues, and our tendency to dominate games after scoring that first and second goal continues. I hope it's something that changes. Uh, but yeah, apart from that, 2-0 win. Can't really say much. Next up is Stuttgart, Champions League football. Finally,
At home would be great to actually kick that off with a win. But yeah, I do kind of agree with whatever Jacob and Sahil just mentioned. I would just say again, this slow start to games is an ongoing trend. It has been there even last season as well. Uh, we slowly grew out of it, and it's a matter of time we get that patched up, because against better quality opposition, we won't be given second lives to rectify the lull we starts games, and like we have to be a bit more proactive. We have
absolutely.
to really force the issue sometimes. But yeah, onwards and upwards, I guess. A couple more comments. Ashik was mentioning we may not have won pretty today. We look good, more like a blue collar team, but then again, looking like construction workers in orange, it made sense. Enough with your puns, Ashik. Honestly, like you can't sugarcoat this performance. Like no matter how hard you try. Um, Siddharth, big ups said he was mentioning the one thing which is true is that Madrid never play well consistently, but get wins consistently. Happened last season, and when we won the double in 22 as well. Yeah, I get it. I'm a results-based person as well. Like I'm not Farouk. Most of us are not Farouk, right? But the results that they lack, and then the subsequent performances also lack. It's a worry, and we have to call it out. And there is rays of hope. There is some silver lining, especially this performance and the Real Betis performance showcases that. And yeah, it's only platforms to build on from here on in, um, especially with Jude Bellingham coming back and Chouameni coming back, Kamavinga coming back. I think the team is gonna click into gear. And once we click into gear, is when we can start shushing people. I don't know why Vinny was on the on the shush train. Like, why is he trying to, rile up the crowd? We are only leading 1-0. Stuff like that gets to be. Like Jacob finds that a bit overreactionary from my point,
No,
right? Jacob, that's what you find,
no, man. Like that
right?
was warranted.
Oh,
To be
was it? Okay, fair.
like I just hate the fact that like La Liga teams and the stadium itself, like they know how to get to Vinny at this point, especially when he's having a bad game.
Mm. Man, he's gonna be a fucking Ballon d'Or winner soon. Like, why get into such petty? That's just some people are just low IQ, I guess. It's almost like Suarez biting people, Vinicius getting riled up. It's the same
It
thing, but
gives
in a
people more
different.
more of a reason to hate him, and then you can't even like defend him in the public space, right? Or his actions, so to say.
I didn't quite catch that sign. What was that?
No, I said it
Uh-huh.
gives people more of a reason to hate him, and then
100%.
us as Madridistas can't defend him for things like that.
I can't defend him
What do you say to
because
that?
I myself hate it. Because
And imagine we go on to lose that game, right?
yeah, yeah, yeah. We would be tearing his attitude into shreds, because I was mentioning it even throughout the first half as well. Like his body language is just very typical Winnie early phase of the
True.
season,
And I
away La
get
Liga
it.
grounds.
I get it if he does it against one of the teams where like he got racially abused at the stadium. But against
Yeah,
like, what does he have against Sociedad, man?
yeah. They're not the most hostile crowd either,
No,
right? Like
they're quite friendly.
yeah, um, friendly, but yeah, I get it. So
Like
big.
relatively good.
Man,
Relatively.
yeah, relatively yes. But
Stuttgart
no,
may
no
produce
La Liga team
Benzema.
is friendly to us, man.
I
La
guess.
Liga crowds can be friendly to us, but not friendly to Vinicius.
Yeah.
This man just needs to, reduce the amount of enemies he makes on a weekly basis. Like, come on, man. Like when I used to, have fights in middle school, I couldn't sleep at night. Like, how does he piss off fucking 80K people, right? Every week and go to sleep. Like, I don't understand. Right? It just doesn't make sense. It's one thing feeding off people wanting you to fail, like what Cristiano did. This is something else.
Yeah.
This clearly is something else.
It's not
This is
football,
not the same
it's
thing.
La Liga.
Yeah, that's the brilliant way to put it. But yeah, Archie was mentioning Stuttgart may produce Benzema and Porsche, but Benz and Porsche, but Madrid will show them how to engineer wins. Right? Oh yeah.
Again,
I get
amazing
it.
wordplay.
Ashik just is well traveled. He
You know what? Bring him on, man. Bring him on someday.
100%. He has been on, I think,
Oh, yeah. Is he? Okay.
once on a call-in show or something. But yeah, Ashik is always welcome. Ashik was also mentioning if Vinny is going to rile up the crowd, then he should have the temperament of Cristiano. As well, Cristiano excelled with tough crowds and he riled up the crowd, but responded with quality. Yeah. Once you play to the crowd, you have to back your actions up, and if you don't, you just look silly, man. And if you have performances like this, you just look silly. This is not a witch hunt. I don't want this to be about Vinny. When he turned, that silly face of his on last season, like I was one of his biggest advocates. People used to, shit on him. I used to back him up because his performances warranted that. I hope, that period arrives soon. Um, so that it's best for both parties. Because let's be honest, we need Vinicius more than Mbappe. That's the honest truth. Mbappe is Mbappe, but we need Vinny. Vinny is the soul of this side. If he's on it, then Mbappe is an afterthought. At least for me. But yeah, I guess that's pretty much it, boys. People tuning in on audio platforms, we really appreciate your support. I always reiterate, you guys are the backbone of what we do. Thank you for showing us so much love over the last 3.5 years. Do continue supporting us, continue recommending us to your friends, fellow Madridistas as well. Go show some love to our partners, Manscaped and Fanatics. If you guys show them some love, they might show us some love, and continue supporting our little dream here. It's been a long time coming. A lot of blood, sweat, and tears that goes into it. I've always mentioned that we all juggle a lot of stuff in life along with this. Some people have families, uni, jobs. But yeah, we still turn up. We still talk about our beloved club, and keep doing what we love. Purely due to the fact that you guys support us. Both on and off the pod. Watch out for Sid's fan camps as well. Starting from Tuesday's game against Stuttgart at home, I think we have a 3-game back-to-back. At the 3 games back to back at the Bernabeu as well. So it'll be kind of a busy week for especially for our editors. That includes me. So if you guys can show some appreciation and love, to the content from Madrid, it'll be great. Because a lot of hard work and sweat goes into it. Big up our boys in Madrid for always bring in content and bring in real fan opinion from outside the stadium, both before and after games. But yeah, people, I think that's pretty much it. Big up Jacob, big up Sahil. Until next time, Ala Madrid.
Hala Madrid.
Hala Madrid. See you.